This classic lemon pasta dish is super simple, super fast, and ridiculously tasty. Only 4 main ingredients and it comes together in less than 10 minutes. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's get adventurous. So it's Friday night, past midnight, I guess technically that makes it Saturday morning, and I've got a hankering for some tasty pasta. So I'm going to fix that problem with some tasty lemon pasta. Or, if you'll excuse my pronunciation, Pasta al Limone. I'm making this as a single serve, but both the ingredients and the technique scale up really easily. So I'll list the quantities for both a single serve and a 4-serve batch, so you can decide how much you want to make. So for this single serving, I've got 112 grams of spaghetti, the zest of 1/4 of a lemon, and lemon juice to taste. 7.5 grams of finely grated Parmigiano Reggiano, 17.5 grams of butter, and also to taste a little bit of salt and pepper. So the first step to make this extra quick is to heat up some water in a kettle. For me, this is by far the quickest way to get boiling water in my kitchen. And while I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm going to put my spaghetti into a shallow frying pan and turn on the heat. Yes, a frying pan, not a great big pot. The shallow frying pan will hold less water, which means it'll boil much quicker. I will have to add less salt for seasoning, and by the time the pasta's cooked, the water will be super starchy, which will do a fantastic job of bringing all of the sauce ingredients together. As soon as the kettle's boiled, I'm pouring that water over the pasta. Don't worry about the fact that it's not boiling immediately. Pasta actually starts cooking at around 82 degrees Celsius, so even though it's not boiling yet, trust me, it's cooking. In with a generous pinch of salt. Use less salt than if you were using a large volume of water. People often say that pasta water should be as salty as the ocean. This is a bit of an exaggeration. Ocean water is actually really salty. The salt concentration that you want is actually much closer to the salt content of tears. So a good thing to remember when you're cooking pasta, the pasta water shouldn't be salty like the ocean. It should be salty like the tears of your enemies. If you're learning anything new from this, then other people might too. So please hit the like button because that helps the video to spread to more people, and I really appreciate it. Put the butter in a saucepan over a medium heat to start melting, and while you're waiting, use a wooden spoon to move the pasta around. The only downside to this cooking method is that if you don't move the pasta around, it can stick together. Once the butter's nearly melted, reduce the heat to low because the finely grated lemon zest burns fairly easily. When you think your pasta's almost cooked, throw in the lemon zest and swirl it around a bit to combine. It should only need a minute or so to infuse its flavours. When your pasta's close to being ready, the best way to test it is by breaking off a piece and eating it. It's still going to cook a little bit more when we toss it with the sauce, so at this point you want it to be a little bit short of being al dente. Transfer the pasta into the saucepan. I like to do this with tongs, that way a lot of the pasta water will come along for the ride, and we need a reasonable amount of that pasta water to fully emulsify the sauce, so I'm adding a few extra spoonfuls too. I'm stirring the pasta water in and looking to the bottom of the saucepan to see if there's enough pasta water to make a sauce. It looks a bit light on, so I'm abandoning the spoon and pouring in some water straight from the frying pan. As you can see, there's now some lemony, buttery water accumulating at the bottom of the saucepan. Now it's time to add the Parmesan and a generous crank of freshly ground black pepper. Stir everything really well until all the cheese is melted and emulsified into a nice creamy sauce. Keep checking the sauciness levels. If it's not looking saucy enough, add a little bit more water. Once it's sufficiently saucy, add a squeeze of lemon juice and give it a taste. We're looking for a nice balance of salty savoury flavours from the cheese with a nice fresh lemony tang. So give it a taste, see what you think, and keep adding a little bit more bit by bit until it tastes really good. Serve the pasta up any way you like, but do make sure you get every last bit of that sauce out of the saucepan. It's absolutely packed with flavour and you don't want to waste a drop. This is best served garnished with a little bit more Parmigiano Reggiano and a little bit more fresh lemon zest. And because I'm making a YouTube video and I want the thumbnail to look good, I'm adding some chopped parsley just for a little pop of vibrant green colour. This is one of those pasta dishes that's so simple you can't go wrong. The cheese makes it salty and savoury, the lemon makes it fresh and zesty. It's beautifully balanced and absolutely packed with flavour. Next time you're a bit peckish and craving some pasta, why not give this recipe a crack? And if you do, let me know in the comments how it turned out. For 4 more super simple, super delicious classic pasta recipes and the only fresh pasta recipe you'll ever need, click on this video here. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to smash the rest of this pasta and head to bed. And until next time, happy snacking.